Can't hear a damn thing with these things on.
Hey, you know, sometimes it happens that way. What is up, interwebs? Big Lou here. Matt, the Cut Man, with me as always. In case you couldn't tell, we went to go see Baby Driver last night. Yes, I will say as well. Matthew, Baby Driver, Edgar Wright's newest film. What'd you think?
I'm gathering my senses, the room just went supernova.
Yeah, it really did. Poquito.
I totally dug it.
Yeah, no,
I absolutely dug what he was trying to do there, and I think he nailed it.
Yeah, if we didn't get Edgar Wright's Ant-Man, this was an adequate substitute.
More than somewhat.
Yeah.
More than somewhat.
I think that our tour directors like Edgar Wright, like your Tarantinos, like your James Camerons, are better attuned at directing stuff that they write themselves.
Yeah.
And this was no exception. It was a lot of fun. It was well-deserving of its R rating.
Yeah.
And just some heartfelt moments between some really, really innocent, beautiful characters and some really despicable, deplorable moments from some characters that were, let's just say, not so nice. We're going to stick
damaged?
Yeah, damaged is a very appropriate word. No spoilers here at the beginning. We will get into some spoilers towards the end of this review, but we will give you ample warning before we delve into those areas. So, what is it that stands out to you the most about Baby Driver?
Okay, so I think it was the combination between the camera work, the action sequences, the driving action sequences, intermixed with the music.
Yeah,
those all combined. Somebody described this as as kind of a musical number of sorts.
Very much so.
Which it absolutely was, but instead of dancing and singing, you had car driving and gunplay.
And gunfight, yeah.
But perfectly timed to the music.
But not to the point that it felt like a music video.
Right.
It definitely felt like it was incredibly well constructed, in tune with whatever song that was playing at the time.
If they needed to samba, they samba'd. If it was a waltz, it was a waltz. And the action on screen matched exactly.
Yeah. One of the things that stood out to me was the character arc that Baby, B-A-B-Y, Baby, Ansel Elgort gave us on this hero's journey. Seeing where he was emotionally and psychologically and who he was at the beginning of the movie is in stark contrast to where he ends up at the end of the film.
Yeah, it's a journey.
And it's one of the most eloquently told journeys that I've seen in a movie in a very long time. It was very succinct, and yet it was not like, hey, this is what he's doing, this is where he's going. It was just very organic, and I really, really liked that.
That's true.
Yeah. So I also really loved the chemistry that Ansel Elgort had with Lily James. If you don't know who Lily James is yet, you will soon enough.
Write that name down.
She is incredibly talented, from what she did on Downton Abbey to her being Cinderella in the live-action Cinderella remake. Even her performance in, and yes, I did watch this movie, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. I'm not ashamed to say.
You gotta watch it for the title alone.
Absolutely. And she was one of the standouts in that. So the fact that she had this...
So Jane Austen's lesser known work.
Her naivete and innocence in this movie was starkly contrasted against everyone else's badassery.
Yeah.
And it was very refreshing seeing her on screen, yet you never felt sorry for her.
No.
And being in this world that, getting in way of her head and stuff like that, it was done very, very well.
Yeah, well, I think, certainly the supporting cast, your Jamie Foxx, your John Hamm, and
Kevin Spacey.
And Kevin Spacey, they were all certainly badass. And Baby, definitely at least the beginning of the story, badass in the driver's seat, but take him out of that environment.
Yeah.
And he's unsure of himself. He doesn't know. He doesn't, the little things that he doesn't know, like the song by T-Rex that he thinks is pronounced Trex, because he's never actually heard it pronounced, or he hasn't really talked to anybody about it.
Yeah.
And she doesn't really call him out on it, but she's like, "Oh, you mean T-Rex, right?" He's like, "Yeah, that's what I meant."
Yeah.
But he didn't know.
Yeah, he kind of played it off a little bit. The line that is the most telling line about his character is, there's a scene where they're at a laundromat, and he says to her, "I've spoken more to you today than I've spoken to anybody ever."
Yeah.
And
or this week.
Was it this week?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever it was. But yeah, it was still very telling about who he is as a character, and you know, where he's coming from and where he wants to go. But can I just take a minute here and talk about John Hamm?
Always.
John Hamm, to me, was the standout of all those ancillary characters, because the Jamie Foxx character and the John Hamm's girlfriend character and the Kevin Spacey character, they're all kind of one note.
Yeah.
John Hamm's character was the one of those bad guy characters that actually had some depth, and they had some good character development too, where he was and why he was doing what he was doing.
Yes, I was thinking about that today, actually. His character, he plays so well this damaged guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you weren't a big Mad Men fan, but even in Mad Men, he played, or Mad Men.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that's the name of the show there, Matt.
Maybe I'm not that big of a fan. He played this guy that had demons.
Yeah.
And I think he does that so well. Now, his character turns out to be quite different than the Mad Men character.
Yeah, a little bit. So, anything about this that you didn't quite like, that didn't really work for you?
The only things that I could think of were like kind of towards the beginning, but then I just got lost in the story.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning when they're running from the cops, once they lose the cops, I'm thinking, okay, why don't you drive like normal until you get to your destination? If you're driving like a crazy person, they're going to chase after you, but you may be able to slip away.
Yeah.
And then I just like, oh fuck it, this is awesome.
There were a couple of moments that were like that I noticed. Not necessarily the one in the beginning, but certainly the one in the end. Where they were doing that similar type of thing. You know, it's not really a spoiler. There's a lot of running from the cops in this movie. It's a heist movie about a getaway driver, so it kind of goes with the territory. Where, it was like the way that the car he was driving and the way that they were driving were like counterintuitive to keeping a low profile.
Yeah.
So one of the things that kind of didn't really work for me, and again, like you, I just kind of like let it go and just went with the story. I love John Bernthal. He's amazing as the Punisher. He was great in this movie. He's got second billing in this movie, and he's in the movie for 8 seconds. He's only in that beginning sequence.
Yeah, I really thought he was gonna, spoiler alert, I thought he was gonna show back up, and he didn't.
No, I really, that was just one of the things to me that kind of stood out as, oh, I wanted more John Bernthal. I would have liked for the John Bernthal character to have been the Jamie Foxx role. I think that would have been better. Not that I get anything against Jamie Foxx. I don't know. I was hoping to get more John Bernthal, and we didn't.
Well,
but again, nitpicky type of stuff here when we're talking about the grand scheme of a movie. I really, really liked this. Recommend people go see this? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's going to be our thoughts, non-spoilery. We are going to go ahead and get into some spoiler territory. So if you haven't seen it, pause this video, add it to your watch later list, and then run out, go see the movie, and come back and pick up where you left off. You have been warned. Matthew, spoilerific territory. Did you see the ending with everybody dying, pretty much?
Yes, I did, because about halfway through, it had that Tarantino feel to it.
Yeah,
it had that. It had some of his early work feel.
Little Reservoir Dogs.
Little Reservoir Dogs, yeah, absolutely. So I kind of got the feel that there's going to be some massive carnage here, and they're going to start dropping. But seeing, I also, not that I saw it coming, but I could definitely tell that when they were laying the groundwork with John Hamm having, or with his character having this rapport with Baby and being like, oh yeah, I was a wheelman for a second there, and them having that connection, but also him being this damaged character, I could see that they're setting something up for more treachery to come. Yeah, and so that betrayal, I suppose. Yeah. Or I don't even necessarily think it's betrayal, because I think if we were in his situation, how differently would we react?
I would have done the same thing.
Right?
I mean, it's literally because of Baby's actions that his girlfriend dies. Right. I mean, Baby didn't kill her, but it was definitely due to him messing up the heist. Yeah. And dude's got to seek revenge, so I didn't see it coming how Jamie Foxx was going to go out. That was like, when that happened, I was like, oh shit, we doing this. Yeah. Okay. Just going through a different way there. And I got to tell you, one of the things that didn't work for me was Kevin Spacey's, the revelation of his character at the end, where he was like, oh, fuck it, I was in love once too. Here's all the money. You kids go have fun. Yeah. No, that didn't work for me. And the whole, y'all get away, I'll cover you, and he sacrifices himself so that they can get away. I was like, I didn't see that from his character, because all through the movie, his character had been cold and calculating and just about the job and just about getting the results, and you work for me, and here's a little taste, kid. Here's a little taste. And then just to have him say, oh, fuck it, I'm going to stand in front of these,
I think when that happened, I think he knew it was, he had made the calculation that it was over for him.
Even before that, though, it was when he gave him the money and said, y'all, this will get you to... when they were in the elevator, before they even realized that the dirty cops were there, it was like, here, this will get you across the border, never stop running, I was in love once too, and I was like, okay. I bought it, and then when he stood in front of the bullets for him, I was like, maybe. I wanted him to have more of for as calculating as that character was portrayed through the whole thing, I would have thought he would have been more prepared for worst case scenario if shit goes down, other than just, oh shit, I've got a shotgun, so that was just one of the things that kind of took me out of it a little bit, and then I was right back into it once John Bernthal shows up and runs him over. It was great. Not John Bernthal, John Hamm. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. So, what else spoilering stuff did you want to talk about?
I mean, it's not necessarily a spoiler, but it's just going back to the car chase sequences with how the camera worked, because we've seen. I mean, you've seen car chase sequences, live action, CGI from here to Sunday. Yeah. But I think the interplay between the camera and the cars was something else. Yeah. So something definitely worth seeing in the theater, especially in the opening sequence where they commit the robbery and everybody jumps back in the car. John Bernthal character would go like this, and he takes off in reverse. Yeah. And he flies off into reverse, does a quick J-turn where he spins the car around, goes into drive, and then comes around that corner. The entire while the camera is moving not along with the car, but in contrast with the car. Yeah. And then the car dashes right by.
The cinematography in this was amazing, especially when that opening sequence during the title sequence, after the first initial car chase, that one long 15-minute tracking shot that was just all one take with the walking through traffic and interacting with the different people. And I don't know if you caught this or not, but did you notice that like some of the lyrics of the song that we're playing were plastered up around?
I didn't.
Yeah, it was really cool. Some of the lyrics of the song that was playing was like on a billboard sign or on a wrapper in a window pane or something like that. It was like, Okay, that's really cool. It was the opening sequence where he's walking to go get that morning coffee was done very, very well. So
there was one more camera interplay with a car that really stuck out to me. I mean, you see it 1,000 times where they'll coach the actor on how to slide the car right at the camera.
Yeah.
And it's usually just a handheld or like a steady cam.
Yeah.
And they do that in this, but normally when it happens, the camera is focused on the driver, while towards the end where he slides the Challenger in the parking garage, he slides it so far that the camera actually tracks onto Deborah.
Yeah.
And it just passes right by him. And I don't know how they really got that shot, if it was they zoomed in or if they actually moved the camera into the car to just frame up her face. But that took a lot of skill from him as a driver and some balls on the cameraman to stand there.
Did he do his own driving in this?
Unless they CGI'd over his face, which I don't think they did.
It's entirely possible that they did, especially because he has the glasses and the.
Oh, this was towards the end when he wasn't wearing glasses.
Okay, well, who knows? I don't know. We'll have to watch the behind the scenes, because I know that Keanu Reeves did a lot of his own driving in John Wick, and they did a very similar thing. But as far as like the cameraman standing there, they would have had the camera on a rig, or like on a jib or some type of gimbal arm that stretches out, and they can just slide the car right underneath it. And
well, however they did it,
it was
damn impressive.
Impressive, yeah. So, can't stress how good this movie was. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Cutman obviously enjoyed it. We give it several thumbs up. If we had more thumbs, we'd put them up too. But those are our thoughts on Baby Driver, newest Edgar Wright movie. Let us know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Share this video amongst all your social media friends. You can find us on Twitter, just at The InterWebs Show. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. All that good nonsense. And hey, we launched a website. It's just theinterwebshow.com. We're going to have write-ups of our movie reviews and our weekly podcast that we're going to start doing. You can find the links to all of that stuff down in the description below. Until next time, folks, we will see you on the interwebs.
And if you do go see this movie, drive carefully and slow down, because I know that I wanted to go really fucking fast after I saw it.
I had to fight the urge to do J-turns in the parking lot. Yeah.